Yo. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, slight jaw, Jesus. I'm, I'm down, boss. Oh, Christ, Jesus. You like that falsetto?
Yeah,
Just for
that
you,
was
girl.
nice.
Just for you. Just for you.
Still mad.
You still mad?
Still mad.
All right. I'll find some. I'll find some random guy for you to tie up later on.
Make it a girl and we're even.
Um, you overestimate my game.
All you gotta do is point them out.
I mean, I could probably pick up a girl real easy if I want to. Just walk up to her, but like, I eat ass, girl. What's up? Like, I'll eat that ass, girl. What's up? She would be like, I don't even know you. Doesn't matter.
Send me
You
that.
guys ready?
Maybe.
Oh my God. Are you ready or you're not ready?
Maybe, damn it. Don't know
Evie, I'll
yet.
bite you.
You gotta warm it up. You just can't be like. Well, sometimes you can go in there like, bow, tat out.
What are we talking? What are we talking about? We
Nothing.
talk about the
Nothing.
Okay, guys, welcome to another episode of Blerd Talk, where apparently
He's talking
asking if
about
you were
fucking.
ready is. We knew that. We knew that, and I was just trying to be. Oops, I killed a civilian. You know what? That's how we're going to end that conversation. Not kill a civilian. Damn, he
Now
was
you
talking
run
about.
around killing people and just innocent people. Shit, Jay. What
Nobody
you
is
doing?
innocent. Nobody is innocent, especially after. What am I doing? You're the one who's anonymously asking. You're the one who's anonymously taking this whole thing into a sexual conversation. I just asked if
No
you're
one
ready.
took it into a sexual conversation. You did.
Thank you. You did. You said, "Are we ready?"
No, I did not.
Said,
I said, "Are we
ready?"
ready?" It's into to the conversation that we're trying to have that has
And I
nothing
was-
to do with sex.
I was
It
answering
had
the
her
question.
answer had nothing to do with sex. You just assumed it.
Exactly.
Brandon, are we
Gosh.
really gonna play this game right now? No one BB?
Yes.
It's BB.
I'm sorry. I don't know what you want me to say here.
Asking all the questions. Asking all the
You know
questions.
what? You know what it is? It's because your girl is her best friend, so you try to stay out of trouble. I'll give you that. You stay the neutral part, my nigga. Stay neutral.
I don't know what you talking about, Batball. Batball.
Bet Ma,
What are you talking about?
Batball.
you was here when I got here.
What, Batball?
All right, okay, guys, how you doing? Don't mind us. We are drunk. That's the answer we're going with. Yes, we are drunk. We are drunk. Anyhow,
You lie.
do not do this at home, kids. Today's episode is all about the story. When we talk about the stories of anime that we just love, good storytelling is always a key part into a good anime. It doesn't always have to be full of action. It's just good storytelling in general. So we're gonna talk about good story of anime, and then we're gonna talk about the horrible. Oh my God! We're gonna talk about the horrible stories of movies, and we're talking about movies that just didn't really do it for you. Movies that was just like, oh my God, how did this become a movie? Those kind of movies. So, and we got a few. We got a few. All right. So my opening anime I'm actually going to start with is not an action anime. It's actually a slice of life anime. It's called When They Cry, and it's actually is a pretty good anime by my standards. So the storyline is actually pretty good. It's about a kid who bullies a deaf girl, and he gets in trouble with it. And then when he gets in trouble with it, he tries to basically be like, I'm not the only one bullying her. But all his so-called friends turn on him and start bullying him, basically into like his teenage years. So it's like a time skip, and during the time skip, he's kind of he's been bullied by his so-called best friends to basically seclusion. They follow him wherever he goes, and like ever since that time, he bullied this girl when they was in like elementary school, but like all the way to high school, his friends never let him hear the end of it, even telling people he didn't know, like that's the guy that bullied a deaf girl. Like it followed him to high school, to the point that he became the victim of bullying. So the story kind of skips to a part where he's just at the point where he's ready to commit suicide. And it kind of goes from there. The story deals a lot with mental health issues, disabilities, and just like suicide in general and how to address it. It's actually a pretty good story that covers a lot of real world issues. And quite frankly, I did really love the story. I also kind of disliked how it ended with being said like he forgave his friends, the friends who sold him out. He forgave them, and I didn't like that ending. I didn't, even though like they're the whole reason he wanted to commit suicide. But whatever. But after that, the story itself was an excellent story, and even though it's not an action anime, it's an animated movie. I felt the storyline was definitely something that it touched your emotions, it made you think, and it made you feel. So I thought it was a really good story. It's called When They Cry. All right. So Brandon, what you got?
Good anime story. Paranoia Agent.
How did I feel like? How did I know you was going to say that? You were like obsessed with Paranoid Agent.
Well, that's the whole point of Paranoia Agent. Um, it's just a really good anime. I mean, I've seen this anime a good 7 times, and I honestly can't tell you what it's about.
Seriously?
Yes, I've
Actually,
watched it through
I'm.
7 times, and I just don't understand how to explain it to people, and I love it. So,
I mean, tell
there's
me
a
some scenes
kid
that
with
you
a
like.
bat. Huh?
I mean, yeah. Okay, I was gonna say, tell me some scenes you like about the anime.
I can tell you my favorite episode. It's an episode where it's a production team working to get an episode of this show called Mellow Maromi out in time for a like special block premiere or something like that. And everybody is just getting killed off because this one guy, he's like messing up the entire show. Like one guy finished the backdrop and he took it and folded it. It was like a wet print, and he folded it, increased it, and put it in his back pocket. And it just messed
What?
up. Yeah, like imagine painting something that's not even dry yet, and somebody grabbing it and folding it multiple
Oh,
times
you
and
catching
putting it in their
hands?
pocket.
You catching
Which
hands?
which he did. Like he got his hand like slammed into the ground and stuff like that. But
By
it
who?
was
The
just
agent or by the people?
by the manager, the manager of the entire production. And like I think he was the one killing people. It doesn't all I know is that like Little Slugger was like following him. Like he was driving in the rain and you just see Little Slugger just effortlessly skating behind him. He's looking and speeding up. And then my favorite scene of all time is when he finally cracks and then Little Slugger's just in the back seat chilling and he finally sees him and then it just cuts to a screensaver of a little boy swinging a bat. And it's beautiful. It's beautifully done.
That's some brutal shit right there, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, it
That's some
I
brutal.
know that I know the show stems from like rumors and shit like that. So
I mean, so like, what do you think? What do you think the story behind Paranoia Agent really is? Like, what do you think? Like, his point. The
it's
point of it is.
rumors. Like basically, everybody's looking for a way out, and Little Slugger attacking this one lady in the first episode is a rumor that everybody can use, like a get out of jail free card. Like, all right, I'm gonna use
Oh,
an example. The corona. I'm
if
gonna
I
use the
killed
coronavirus
somebody.
as an. I'm using coronavirus as a perfect example. If somebody calls out sick, and their boss says, "Okay, well, you get to stay out for 14 days because you have coronavirus," you can say, "Oh, well, I'm sick too for something," and then blame it on the coronavirus or whatever, and get put out the same time. That's kind of what the thing is. Like, some people will like. There's a one scene where this chick has a split personality. One of her personalities is a hooker, so she just looks for a reason to like clear her head. So she blames Little Slugger attacking her or something like that.
Hey, how is her
It's
split personality as a hooker?
It happens,
She
man.
has a
She's a
whole
kid.
split.
She
She has a
one,
whole split personality that's a hooker.
yeah, like herself is a teacher. The other one is a hooker. It happens. Happens to the best of
That,
us.
that's not something that happens. You just don't wake up one morning and be like, oh yeah, so I'm just gonna go hook the shit out of this day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some
you
people do.
do.
See,
I
You wake
mean,
up broke. You wake up
Yeah,
broke a
you
lot of the
wake up.
time. Wake up next to.
Baby,
No,
don't contribute to
listen.
this conversation.
No, listen though. Like you wake up, you wake up to some guy you been fucking. You like, well, I know I got some good pussy.
Motherfucker.
Let me go. Let me
Wait,
go sell
stop.
this
Wait,
shit.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you
I
just
mean,
wake up. Like
it's
I can make
and
money
the
off this
teacher
shit.
tries to get rid of her by throwing all the clothes or hooker clothes away and shit like that, and they just come back. Her personality goes to the dumpster, gets them back, and goes out there hooking.
Yeah,
Is it
it's a
called
beautiful
hooking?
thing.
Hooker? Do hookers call it hooking because you lure men? Is that it? A hook like a lure?
Fish hook.
Fishing lure?
Fish hook. Yes.
Is that it?
I would suggest.
Oh
I
my
would think that's
God.
right.
Stabilize.
That sounds.
Wow.
That sounds a lot more better. Versus going to work. Come hook. Going hooking.
I mean, I always kind of thought about being a male hooker. I wonder how that would work out.
You'd be. It's called a gigolo for you.
No, I know what I want to be
There's
called.
like two
Call me-
movies
call-
on it.
Yeah, because
No, I know
you
what
jiggling
it is
them
called.
cheeks.
Stop.
Well,
That's what it is.
Stop.
You jiggle them
No,
cheeks.
nobody wants to. No one. Who's jiggling cheeks for who? I mean, like his job was quite easily. He didn't even do much. He just oppressed some crazy women, and they was like, "Oh, I love you based off the personality
Yeah.
traits you showed us." I don't even know.
You
We know
you
in real
could-
life that would never really fly.
Actually, yes, it could.
Act-
Some people just need
whatever
some.
y'all got going on ain't got nothing to do with me right now.
Huh? Oh, you have to say that because of your relationship. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon is totally a clean person. He doesn't do stuff like that. He's the most innocent man I've ever met in my entire life.
All right,
So we're
don't,
just-
don't overdo it, Leonardo.
I was about to say, so we're just gonna lie on this. All right. Awesome.
Right.
What you talking about?
There's
We
no
just
need
gonna
to lie.
We've been lying our
We're
entire
just gonna
lives.
lie our ass off.
We lie every day. We
You
walk
have
outside
been
the
lying
house.
your entire life.
You
Yeah,
telling me
you've been
telling me-
lying.
So
Shame
wait,
on
stop.
you.
So we gonna get into the psychological shit. So you telling me when you go to work every damn day and you let motherfuckers talk to you, and you know you could slide, you don't slide them right there and then, that you not lying to yourself in some form of way?
No, I'm
Because
forbidden.
I don't think about sliding motherfuckers.
Right.
You do
I usually
Right.
tell. I
Shut
usually
the
tell them. I usually just tell
Usually.
them, like,
Either that or I don't waste my energy on peasants.
No, you just come over here and you'll be like, oh my god, be motherfuckers be. Nigga, I'll kill you.
In my Elmo
Oh shit, they will
voice.
have to come.
we are way off topic.
We are
really
way
do
off
way off
topic.
topic.
We always get off topic.
When has that never happened? Like when has we never got off topic?
Um,
Damn it, they shot the tire out. All right, BB, what's a good anime? What's a good anime that has a good story to you?
it's a few, but it's one anime. I can't think of the name. Jay, you might can help me of this that comes to mind. It's about a guy who ends up. It's hard for me to fucking explain it without thinking about the name. So, okay, it's these two guys. They're trying to decide. The world is in doom. Everybody has I forgot what they're called, but they have like little machines they use to fight and shit like that. And they got these.
Oh, Megalobox?
No,
Megalobox?
no. But it's two guys. It's one dark-haired, skinny guy who likes to wear a biker's helmet, a purple and gold cape, and the world has tried to make him seem like he's the evil guy when he's just trying to save people because he likes to play
Code Geass.
chess. That's what it is. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
thinking
ready
about
to
that
say.
one.
You said they love to fight with machines, and like they don't really
There's so many.
like to fight. He fights because he has to, but like so I thought Megalobox.
A
So
lot
that's
of
what he
them
box.
love. A lot of them love to fight.
Yeah, a lot of them do like to fight. They rather be pawns than to actually save.
Lelouch barely fights. Lelouch didn't really kind of get into the fights until he started having to. Lelouch actually like he's honestly and truly I agree with that because Lelouch is a strategist, and I love that story because it was a combination of like mind games and actual action. Like it wasn't always like that was like one of the few stories where I'd say plot armor was somewhat acceptable.
Right. I liked it
Because,
because
like-
it showed how the world would sway based upon societal opinion in that point. Because at one point in time, he was the savior. He started off being the savior because he was an underdog. And then after all of a sudden, once he started having to make the tough decisions that nobody else really wanted to make, he became the evil guy. And he was okay with that as long as though he was willing to sacrifice himself so that society could go on living their delusional life. Like
he wanted peace, and he was willing to
Yeah.
sacrifice himself for that peace.
Right.
There was nothing wrong with that, honestly. It was honestly nothing wrong with that. The thing about it though was like the whole story, where like the story took a turn for the worse because everything was kind of going actually pretty good, and where the story took a turn for the worse is when his Gias evolved on him without him really noticing it, and he was talking to Euphemia, who kind of already knew who he was, and when he told her like. He was told her like I would have to. He was like giving her an example, like I would have to give you the command to kill all the 11s, and it accidentally activated. Like that's where shit just went off right there. Like when he accidentally activated, and Euphemia just went on a rampage and killing all the Japanese people. And quite frankly, like I have never felt so fucking sorry for a character in my life.
Right.
Like he didn't even mean to do that. He was just talking to her, showing her an example. He was actually about to give in and take the peaceful route. He was about to stop being Zero and just take a peaceful route. And then like it was like boom, she kills herself.
Right. It was kind of sad, but I liked it. I felt like that was a good way to show how real life you think you got everything planned out, but you forget those other factors can come into play that could sway your decision or force your hand.
I mean, you're not wrong. And I think the thing about it though is like you had to, like you said, Code Geass was really close to actual like real life, to like I wouldn't say real life to like the way he had like the mechas, but it was kind of close to like realistic scenarios and stuff. Like it was a huge mind game, and he let himself become the bad guy. He let himself become the bad guy for the sake of the world. And the thing you have to ask yourself is like, would you have done the same? Would you let yourself become the villain for the sake of the world? I mean, ultimately, if you look at the real villains of the whole story, it was his fucking parents. I thought his mother was at least gonna be a good person, but his whole family was just all types of fucked up.
Right. Exactly. But I think that's a pretty dope anime for people to watch.
Yeah,
If anybody
I say
likes
Code.
that type of stuff.
I say Code Geass is definitely up there. It would definitely be like my top. We need to like. Somebody's like, what's a good anime to start off with? Code Geass would definitely be up there as one of the top animes.
Oh, I know.
So
what's next?
sorry, I'm fucking.
I was just about to say it.
What's
So
next?
what's a
Right?
good-
Because I'm done.
So what was a movie that just was not really good to you? Like they just lacked everything
Yeah.
as a movie. Like we talk about plenty of movies that we just was like, nah. That's not a movie I want to watch. What was a good movie for that? What was a good movie that you just felt? What I mean, not a good movie. What was a bad movie? One of the worst movies that you just felt like the story to this movie is ass. I don't know why would y'all try to make this. This was not a good idea.
I mean, does it count if you haven't seen the full movie? Like you walked out halfway?
Are you talking about Guardians of the Galaxy again? With your anti-Marvel ass?
I
You
like
can't see
Guardians of the
that, and you
Galaxy,
have to see the whole movie. It can't be you watch half the fucking movie and leave.
So you have to see the
Right.
whole movie. Okay, I'm just asking.
Yes,
I'm just asking what the criteria was.
bias ass,
Ass.
bias ass. Whole biased nigga over here, man. Ain't talking about some. I don't
Right?
know about that, like bias
Yes.
ass. You have
Guardians of the
Iron Man
Galaxy
3.
was kind of good. I
Iron
can
Man
agree
3?
with that one.
okay, yeah, I
No,
I
can agree
haven't
with
seen
that. Iron
that.
Man.
I haven't seen all of that through either because I left that too.
All right,
You fucking
Marvel,
ass.
no Marvel movie for you because you haven't watched a single Marvel movie through, let alone have watched a single Marvel movie ever after Guardians of the Galaxy. So no Marvel movies for you. Pick a movie, Brandon.
Well, it's hard now. You've taken away so many options.
I didn't take away so many options. I took away your only option, motherfucker.
Let me see. I actually like movies. A movie that I've seen that was just bad.
The storyline. I'm talking about the storyline was lackluster. They could have done way better.
Could have done way better.
Character development was ass. Acting was just like meh.
Well, Jay, do
Well,
you
when in
have one
doubt,
while we thinking?
I got one.
I do got
When in
one. I got a
doubt,
few.
when in doubt, Charlie out. I'll say
When in doubt, Charlie out.
Dragon Ball Evolution. Dragon Ball Evolution.
Can you
Well,
wait? Hold on,
Can
that's not gonna work.
you
Hold on.
pick one that's not so obvious? But I mean, we'll go with it. Say less.
I mean, I made it through it.
There you go. Now you can see me.
I'm surprised you made it through that movie. I mean, like I made it through it too, but facts. It was that movie. I mean, that's such a horrible movie. We're not even going to talk about that. I was going to say that's one of the obvious ones you don't even want to talk about. Like, there's no shock value
Also,
in saying
well,
like
then
Dragon
go-
Ball Evolution.
you go,
Nobody's
and
going.
then
Nobody's
I'll
going to hear. Nobody's going to hear Dragon Ball Evolution and be like, "Oh my God, how dare he!" I mean, if I go, I'm gonna say for me it was Captain Marvel. Like I just couldn't. Captain Marvel was the movie for me that was just I was done with. I really couldn't like the storyline for that was just meh. It felt like they tried really hard to emphasize on a story that just didn't seem like it really was there, and I really didn't feel like there was a story there, and that's the thing. Like I really didn't feel like there was a story there at all. Like I felt like Captain Marvel was just so kind of like I felt like they needed to like they was getting to Infinity Wars and they was like, oh shit, we forgot about Captain Marvel and just threw her in there. Like everything about that story I just hated. I really did. Like and it's like I don't care what people say. I don't care what people say. I just hated it. They blew her up to be something she really wasn't as a character. The whole starting off where she's at as like it's like y'all could have actually followed like Captain Marvel was one of the few movies that I felt like they could have actually followed the story and been way better off. Like the fact that they actually did not follow the storyline kind of really did was really one of the most irritating points. And to add like insult to injury was they turned the Skrull into like a fucking refugee group. So instead of the Skrull being this alien species that is like bent on world domination, they turned them into like a fucking refugee group. You know what I mean? You
They
guys there?
did. I'm here.
They did. I'm dead serious. They did. They turned them into like the Skrulls wasn't even the main enemy.
Secret
the Skrulls
Invasion
started-
was all about how the Skrulls just came and started populating.
Right. Like seriously, like they Skrulls wasn't even the main enemy. It started out like that, and then like near the end, they was like, we're just running away because of the Kree army, who is the real enemy. We're war victims, and they turned them into like a fucking refugees. Of like they turned the entire Skrull race into like refugees, and I guess you know what? I guess that's how they wanted to write the story. So they basically made Skrulls good guys. They turned the entire Skrull race into good guys. Like it, dude. It was so bad of a twist. I swear to God, M. Night Shyamalan might have write this shit, dude.
Possibly did.
Dude, it was that was the main part. Like, I wasn't even caring that y'all made like Captain Marvel some kind of peace-loving doctor instead of the superior fighter, the war fighter that he or she was. And I say she because they turned Captain Marvel into a female. I could care less. But like, they made her a peace-loving doctor instead of this great warrior that she was meant to be. And in the actual comic, in Captain Marvel's death, on their deathbed is how Carol got the power of Captain Marvel. Like, swear to God, I can't really wait till the X-Men come in and Rogue steals her powers, because that's going to be the best part of the whole movie.
Yeah, that's true.
But then you remember the same person. Then you remember that Brie Larson also played Rogue. So this is gonna be interesting to watch.
That is true.
Bro, I mean like that's honestly how I feel about that movie. I hated everything about that movie, and I mean everything.
Well, let's
I felt that. It was strong there. Strong with this one. Strong hate.
All for you.
I don't have
All for
one.
you. You don't have a movie that you just
I
didn't like,
respect that.
a storyline that you
I
just
don't have.
you couldn't rock with.
No, because, if I hate the movie, I usually forget about it. So I don't fucking
Well,
know.
I can't even argue with that. I can't even argue
I,
with that.
I can't think of one particularly. I'm trying to think of one I really, really did not like. Can I just say that the Fast and the Furious whole
Oh,
collection? Can
Oh
I? Can I?
yes, do it. You can do it. I'll
I
allow
mean,
it.
like, I'm not gonna say I hated it, but really, what the
I
fuck?
fucking do.
I
The
think Fast and
the
I think Fast and Furious is a very hateable one.
It's
I
all
think
out of order, and people die, and then they come back in the newest movie, and it's kind of
yo,
like, what
I'm
the
not gonna
fuck?
lie because Japanese dude definitely did die in Tokyo Drift, and I wasn't even sure how the
Right,
fuck he was alive in the other movies. The
like,
Japanese dude definitely did die in Tokyo Drift. Like they tried some Marvel timeline shit that just was not working for the movie. I hated Fast and Furious. Like I said, last conversation we talked about this. Like you're not gonna fucking sit there and take a car in reverse and out fucking drive a collapsing parking lot. I mean, like them motherfuckers was like,
just
well,
bothered me.
it was a super turbo car, bro. No, nobody has a car that has a reverse gear that goes that fast.
Right, and then you gotta have eye coordination too, steady arm
This
movement. Nah,
Oh,
motherfucker.
and we're not even talking about how after he was driving in reverse, he car jumped out the parking lot into the building like, I don't know, 50, 100 feet on the other side of the fucking street.
Right.
Like, my nigga, you need way more ups for that. Like, I don't know, like if you ever guys to YouTube Fast and the Fury if it really happens. And it talks about like real life shit, like how it would really have happened in the movies. Like Will the Rock an old girl was like they jumped out like I don't know the explosion. They was jumping away from the explosion and they fell out the top story window or some shit. Like and survived that shit. It's just like I'm all for action, guys, but come on,
You're doing too much. You're doing too much.
doing way
I
too
just,
much.
I, and then the later the movies got, the more intense the bromance became, where it pretty much borderlines, sexual intercourse in some of them things.
You aren't wrong. It's at a certain point, like it's just like I mean, like it's the movie went from
Like,
racing cars to like I don't even know no more. It was just like every time I turn around, Vin Diesel, we a family. Come on, family.
right.
This is how family treats each other. Family, family. Come on, family. We family. Like, oh, I get it. We get it. They family, bro. We get it. We get it, bro. You can stop calling them family. Family. Okay, okay, man. You should just count how many times he said family in that one scene. Family,
I feel like
family.
the garage could have turned into a sex scene a lot of the times. The later the movies got,
I mean, like,
all the guys in the garage trying to.
there's so many parts of that
I
movie I
don't
did
even want
not
to know what
like.
the hell y'all talking about.
We're talking about Fast and the Furious, but like we're talking about so many parts of the movie that we just did not like. Like, I'm not gonna even. Like, You know, BB could turn anything into sex. BB could turn anything to sex. A squirrel could be taking a shit,
Come
and she would turn that
on,
into a
man.
sexual innuendo.
You gotta,
BB,
you gotta look at that shit though. I mean, they were so up close in each other's face, getting really. Okay, what's the movie where they thought Lydia died, and they was trying to find out what happened to her, and
I
Vin
don't.
Diesel and the black guy, they just kept like dick measuring, but they was doing it too close and personal. Like, either y'all gonna
I
fight or
don't.
fuck, pick one.
I don't even. I don't. I know which one you're talking about, but I don't even keep track of which numbers they are anymore. I'm just kind of like.
Okay, I'm taking myself out of this. Maybe I am turning. Well, no, this shit is sexual. The later the
No,
Fast and Furious got the sexual.
you good. Like I actually am not even going to argue with you about that. I mean, I am agreeing with you 100% on all this shit. Motherfuckers out here turning. I mean, like you said, it's a whole dick measuring contest.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you imagine Vin Diesel just walks up to you, grab your dick, family.
You're my family. We are
Family,
one big family. We share
family.
everything.
Most
I'm
We
scared
uncomfortable
to
beat
go
on
life.
down.
Sunday.
You just scared.
We meet on
Um,
Sundays and Sundays only.
Family.
Everybody, your family.
Family. Whip it out, family.
People got kids, but the kids stay in the house while the adults outside. Come on, man. Come on.
Show me what you got, family. We family,
Come meet me
family.
in this garage. Let me show you what I got underneath this hood. Come on.
Bro, I mean, like, it's like, it really was. Like, it went, like, in the first movie, like, the first two movies, it was all about
was sick.
racing. And we got it.
Yes.
It was all about racing. Driving the car,
Selling drugs.
infiltrating illegal racetracks. I was for it. Then somewhere along the line, these motherfuckers doing heists with vehicles. My nigga, how does that even work?
Okay.
I mean, like the cops are in there baffled, like how these motherfuckers managed to break into a bank with a car and drive away with a 6-ton safe with a fucking car, and that's shit that even trucks can't really tow. And they have the right to question that. I would be questioning that shit too. Like, I see a nigga driving away with a 6-ton safe with a fucking Mustang, and I'm gonna be like, what kind of engine is in that bitch, yo? What the fuck? I got so many questions and concerns. Like, I would be
Like,
so
what
convinced
kind
it's a
of-
military. I would be so convinced it's a military operation because ain't no regular car gonna do that shit. Like, I'd be like, it's an inside job. Ain't no nigga got a car that can do that shit. They ain't no car trunk strong enough to tow shit like that.
Not fast enough like that anyway.
Nah, not in that speed too. Like that whole shit was just like these niggas. Oh man, Brandon, it's your turn. We can fuck up. We can fuck up on Fast and Furious all day.
I mean, all right. I'm gonna name a movie now. Before I start, I want to say that this is also one of my favorite Marvel movies.
What?
Jesus. Oh Jesus.
Oh,
Okay,
what?
here we go.
But
Did
there
you at
was a
least
lot of
watch
shit in
the whole
movie
thing?
that pissed
At
me
least
off.
watch.
Yes.
Just tell me you watched the whole thing, and I
Yes.
would let it go. Okay, good.
I watched the whole
Have
thing.
at it. Go off.
Iron Man
Let
2.
it go.
Iron Man 2? Oh yeah, we talked about Iron
Why?
Man 2 before. We brought it up.
There
We
was a
didn't
lot
talk
of
about
shit in
it.
this
We brought it
movie.
up.
I loved it. I loved the movie, but there was a lot of shit in the movie that just irked me that they did. Like, this was the beginning of the whole fighting without mask on shit that started to piss me off in every Marvel movie.
Mask on.
But the storyline,
Fucking mask off.
like,
Hey.
there were so many scenes where I was like, there were scenes where you're watching something happens and it just pulls you out the movie. Like, now I know these characters, so seeing Justin Hammer young threw me off, but I understood that. I let that slide. I didn't have a problem with that. I was cool with that. He's technically supposed to be old as shit, but I was cool with him being young.
I mean,
that.
I think they wanted to do that to kind of like, here's this young guy who's trying to compete with Tony Stark because Tony Stark is just young, hip philanthropist, and he might feel some kind of way about it that it's not him. I don't know. I kind of like that idea of how they tried to do that. Who said Blerd? Is that you, BB?
That's fine. That's fine.
BB,
But let's
BB, square up, square up, BB.
let's jump a little bit. Let's jump a little bit to the racetrack scene.
Oh,
Now,
I actually
Which was
hated that.
bullshit.
no one had a gun.
Yeah.
Did no one have a gun?
Not a fucking soul.
Could
No.
no one shoot him? I understand if he's just walking on the track, fine. But after he killed one person, I think you're allowed to shoot people. Is that not true?
Right.
I
That
mean,
is
he
true.
kind of.
I think you're allowed to take down the person.
He kind of did just like fucking smash a whole car open for no fucking reason. That dude was just minding his own business, being part of the Grand
So,
Prix, and the next thing you know, this
there were
angry Russian
police.
dude.
And the thing is, they took him away in cuffs. I was like, kill him. They literally took him away in cuffs. This man had a meal waiting on him at jail. Like, it just didn't make
A
any sense to me.
shower.
Okay, you bring up a good plot point because even after all of that, after this man killed the dude, Justin Hammer walked in there and was like, "I like what you've done. I like your style, dude. You talking about murdering?
Yes.
Let's make a deal. Like that's you bring up a good point. I didn't really look at it like that. It was like, yeah, he did kill the dude, and Justin Hammer just walked in there like that was okay. Dude's family probably crying they bought their eyes out, and you over here calling the dude who just murdered somebody. But sure, go off, man.
Right.
Talk about How about getting that man his bird? Because that's what he really wants. He wants that bird back.
And that's when I started to notice the little. All right, the little Marvel jokes irk me too. Like they'll run jokes into the ground, but also, what was it? That was a cool scene with War Machine and stuff like that too. War Machine getting built was a cool scene. I love that. Um, what else? What else? What else? Hmm. Trying to think, there was so much more. The helmet thing at the end. All right, can somebody explain that to me? Anybody, somebody.
What
Forgot
helmet
If
thing?
you're
fucking movie.
fighting someone and you have a metal helmet that protects your head, why do you constantly take it off during battles? Because I know that's
Because
the
they
trend
can't
in like
breathe.
Marvel movies.
Okay,
They
so
can't
actually, I'm not
breathe.
going to even argue with you about that. You right. Like that part, I never understood. Like at least in Spider-Man, he never took his mask off. His mask got off some other
Yeah,
kind of
his
way
mask was
besides.
battle damage. I could understand that.
Right.
If you get battle damage and it's tattered and torn and you pull it
You know, and
off,
that's actually more
different.
realistic.
That's
That's
different.
actually more realistic because I hate
Yeah.
those animes where motherfuckers be in mad ass fights, explosions and shit, buildings falling, but your outfit is prist and clean. Just the most pristine shit in the whole anime. I mean, this nigga is bloody. He is fucked up, but his clothes, man, his clothes still got the creases in them from the iron that morning. That shit
Right.
never makes sense. That shit
They got a
never
little
makes
bit
sense
of
to me.
dirt on them.
Facts. Facts. Like, bro, you just walked out of an explosion. A whole building just fell on you. How? Never mind the fact that you were bloody, nigga. How are you bloody? And the only thing. How are you bloody? And the only thing wrong with you is like a blood coming down your eye. Like my nigga, you. Like everything else about that man was correct. His whole clothes is intact. But go off. You right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go off
Go
on that tangent.
off.
No, 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 no,
Go
no. That's
off.
fine. That's fine. Let's see. Everything I'm gonna say is just gonna go into the whole tackling Marvel thing. But also, like, this was one movie I think where the no, is it all right? So I haven't seen a lot. Is there a trend in Marvel movies where like the main hero doesn't kill their own villain, like someone else does it?
Yeah,
Because
I noticed
of the
that shit
Marvel
actually,
movies
too.
I've seen,
it's
they
actually a
never kill their
major.
villain.
It's actually a major trend, really, or not, believe it or not. Like you really would not often see it. It's always like they die in some inconspicuous way, or somebody else does it. But they
'Cause I
like to
saw
keep the
Iron Man
hero.
1.
Like Pepper, like in Iron Man 3, Pepper killed the fake ass Mandarin, not Tony. Pepper
Wait.
killed him.
Right, which was
How?
bullshit. Like, how you gonna rob
Huh?
somebody or kill that they've been
How?
wanting their whole
She
life?
I think she punched him into the fucking chest or some shit. Like through his chest with like one of Iron Man's gauntlets.
I forgot all about that scene too. The one time
Like,
she really shined, and that's when he just completely devoted himself to her. After that, shit was bullshit.
I know he blew up all his Iron Man suits. I would have never done that shit. But then again,
Right?
but then again, his whole he was going through like an extra what's the damn word I'm looking for?
Midlife
Yeah.
crisis. Existential
Well,
Exigent
crisis.
search.
Yeah, there we go.
Extrajudicial
There we go.
search.
There. No,
Existential
Brandon said it.
crisis.
Brandon said it. Like this old man, because he had his whole belief system shattered. He didn't
Because
believe
I
in
was
none of that. He wouldn't believe in none of that shit. And then he saw an entire spaceship, and he was like, "There is a god."
Bruh, I remember watching that movie, but I fell asleep. Like the last thing I remember seeing was a truck hitting a truck hitting the armor and it fell into pieces. And that's the
Oh
last
yeah,
thing I saw.
because he wasn't flying the armor. He had a like remote control or some shit.
The only
Is
reason
it?
I even wanted to see the damn movie because I heard Extremis armor and I was like, oh, the shit that comes out his body. Oh, finally. All right,
You
let's
talking about
get
the
it.
you
And
talking about the
then it's
nanite?
just-
You talking about the nanite armor? No, son, that wasn't in there.
Yeah,
That showed up in Endgame.
that's the Extremis armor though. That was a fuck. I hate when they use
Even
take the names
and even
shit
then,
and
and
put
even
it for
then
something else.
And even then they kind of fucked it up really. Like even then they kind of fucked it up really, cause like The extras in the armor was actually like an alien nanite technology armor. It actually made him super powerful. Like it gave him like the same alien type of prowess powers as Thor. But even still, he couldn't like it literally was gave him like alien god powers. That was the superior Iron Man series. You niggas suck.
Why the fuck is you fucking ass?
All right.
Leave me the fuck
Well, I know
alone.
that wasn't a good technically choice, but that's technically all I had for that.
No, that's good. You
Since I
actually talked
can't.
on some good
That was
points.
a good choice.
That was actually a good choice. Like I just didn't want you to go into your usual Marvel bastion with no good reason. That was actually, see, I can accept that. That was actually a good actual choice in conversation. See. I just want to know, for the audience sakes, what is your issue with Marvel movies? Why do you hate them so much?
I just don't enjoy them. Like I've tried. I really have tried. I legit. Me and my cousin used to get excited for Marvel movies, and then I after Guardians of the Galaxy, I just couldn't. Like it's my whole thing
Is it
of
because
when
what they
they
did to Groot? What they did to Groot?
that and like if something has source material, use the source material. Like
I mean,
stop trying to change things and try to add your twist to it to make it seem like you're doing something original. Like,
my
and
old
the
man said
main
it
reason they
best.
did that, the main reason they did that for Groot was to sell toys. I hate that. I
But see,
hate that so very
you're not
much.
wrong. My old man said it best. They don't. They're not. He's like they're not making these movies for you. They're making them for the
They're
next
not.
generation.
I mean, and that's fine. I'm not. Listen, when I hate on Marvel, it's my own hate and personal thing. I don't
No,
force people to not watch it.
I just kind of want to see like your legit answer because some people just hate just to hate. Like, there's like some
Oh
people
no, no,
like
no. I have actual like legitimate hatred, like things that bring me out of the movie. Like if I'm watching a fight scene and a motherfucker's constantly taking his helmet on and off to show his face, I don't. Why? Why? Why?
Cause nigga,
Why?
CGI is expensive.
The nigga, belt, mask. Not everything has to be CGI.
The man drawn. You know, I do miss the old days where acting was more talent than CGI. Like the fun fact that in the first Spider-Man, where Tobey Maguire caught all that fruit and stuff on a tray, it took like
That was
156
practical.
takes. Oh, it wasn't
Yeah, that was a
CGI. That was
practical
actual.
effect.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
it
And
was
he
a
said it took like
practical effect. He did that himself.
Could you imagine just sitting there all day, just trying to get that one take? Fucking, oh Jesus Christ! He dropped the apple. All right, again. Come on, Toby, get this shit right, man. It's already 9.
But that was perfect. I love shit like that.
Yeah, but
I
like,
love.
like so.
I much prefer practical effects.
So that's gonna that's gonna lead into our next few conversations actually, because we're running out of time. All right, so like the next few conversations, we're probably gonna touch on like the things that survived the test, things that stood up to the testament of times. These are movies, TV shows, and animes. That's gonna be one of our next few expos. And another episode we're gonna do after this is comic book movies, both Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, you name it, that we would probably love if man, what was his name? Fucking Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino directs it. Yeah. Quentin Tarantino direct the comic book movie. Fuck yeah. How would you love that shit? And which movie you want to see? We'll leave that for the commenters to decide. This has been another episode of Blerd Talk, guys. We appreciate you guys for joining us. Everybody say goodbye.
Butt sex.
Peace.
Damn it, BB. Damn it, BB. Damn it, BB. You know what? We should do a whole episode of you and just sexual innuendos. But we'll save that. We'll save that. All right, guys. Blerd Talk out. Talk to y'all later.